Ira Epstein with your morning flash update, and this update is for the morning. As we're sitting here now on Tuesday, and this is the 24th of October, 2023, time 8:15 a.m. So a stock market that's up. It's pretty crazy what's going on. These swings in the markets like this, as the battle is in place, and you're seeing a lot of rhetoric on this already. I was reading an article in Bloomberg this morning. Have we seen, or are we going to see, it's a two-part question, the break low here and a rally into year end? And both articles, I was reading two of them, in fact, giving reasons pro and con. And boy, I see the battleground. And I think I've given you the area. It's that low, other than in the Russell, it's the low of that October 4th time frame. And you can see where the battle's shaping up. On the energy markets, it's just back and forth. If you saw an interview today by the head of the IEA, he was pointing out his numbers that by 2030, half of the cars sold in the world will be electric. So right now, it was 1 out of every 25. In 5 years, it's going to narrow into almost 50% of the sales are that. That will cause substantially less demand for crude oil, for the products that it does. Then, of course, he didn't even mention, are we going to see electric airplanes, air taxis, so many other forms that are coming in, solar energy, what's going to happen with all that? So when you put it together, interesting times ahead for that. That's why you got to make hay if you're OPEC right now. As you can see, without Israel stepping in, and they're probably not going into Gaza for the next couple of days, as heavy negotiations are underway for a large group of hostages. Israel's saying quietly, if you're going to give us 2 at a time, forget it, we're going in. So you want a little break, fine. But everything that I am reading, without question, and I say everything. Remember, I don't just read American newspapers. It is, from what I am seeing, Israel is going in to destroy or do their best to either get destroyed in the process or destroy Hamas. That is what they are after, the heads of Hamas, putting an end to that. And if they can get to the heads of it, we'll see. Today there were pictures on TV, if you watched them, of what it's like to go into some of these tunnels. I guess the IDF went in and they took cameras. I can't imagine it. I mean, you talk a horror story, it's the real thing. When you take a look at the dollar, up today at the expense of a number of breaks. Very frankly, yesterday I was looking at the rally in the Swissy, and I made up my mind. I said, we are so close to the objectives that it's probably time to grab some money for no other reason. That worked out. In the grain markets, you are looking to see what's going on. I thought that the corn would do a better job of holding the 490 level, not doing it at this point in time, instead slipping back. In the Japanese yen, there was intervention yesterday. So the Bank of Japan did intervene. It didn't do very much. So it's not enough at this point. We'll have to see what goes on there. Now, I want to remind you, before we get to the day's news, that we do offer broker-assisted accounts. So if you're looking to work on the things I do, my trading ideas, my recommendations, my brokers can work with you on all that. That's number one. So if you're the type of person that goes, you know, this idea that I don't get somebody calling me, talking to me about the market isn't exactly what I want. I want that. I want help in placing the order, have somebody do it for me, have somebody be my eyes for me out there. We can do that for you. How do you go about it? You just give us a call, 866-973-2077. And what you do at that point in time is just tell us your needs. What are you looking to do? What size account are you going to work with? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What are you trying to get done with all this? I think you'll find that we listen. We will work with you. I think it's an idea that in a lot of these markets, that's what traders need. Broker-assisted account, give us a call. Pretty simple. All right, so let's go to the day's events because I think they're important. When we take a look, Red Book sales just came out. They're actually going up. I don't know if you remember, about 2 months ago, they actually went down by 0. They've come back big time. And now these are the best numbers that I've seen in probably 2 months. S&P Global Group's going to release their U.S. preliminary October manufacturing and service sector numbers. They're going to come out in just a bit here in the neighborhood of 845. The Richmond Fed comes out with their monthly manufacturing sector index. That's going to come out at 9. API numbers come out this afternoon at 3:30. As we take a look, we get Eurozone activity did come out, and they are in a big-time problem. You can see how this market just keeps coming in. Numbers under 50 mean contraction, and they're getting even worse. I don't see how Ms. Lagarde, who I think this week is speaking, in fact, we might get their decision this week on what the European Central Bank does. The probabilities of them holding rates are near 100%, and now they're talking that they're going to have to cut rates by June. So we are seeing that the slowdown is hitting. That's a good and a bad thing. I know you realize that. In order to get inflation going, you got to slow economies down. So now the question is, are they reaching that goal? If they aren't and the economy's slowing, then you have stagflation on your hands. That is not what she's going to want to see. So it's important that we all listen to that and see just where this is going to carry you. Again, here's your last look at the markets. Gold has bounced back $10 off a big washout. Disappointment. Traders buy going into the weekend. Israel's going to invade. This is it. Who's going to be pulled into it? Nothing happens. The washout happens. And you go through the process each week until the invasion happens. I'm Ira. I'll see you at the end of the day with your market wrap-ups. Trade well.